Rachel, and for today's quick thought, we're going to be in Matthew chapter 22, 34 through 40. So just those 6 verses, which I think are really key verses when it comes to living a Christian life and being a Christian. And we talk about that all the time, but today I really want us to look at the foundation of Christianity and what, other than Jesus, but what Jesus says is most important when it comes to being a Christian. So I'm just going to read it and then we're going to break it down. So starting in verse 34, when the Pharisees heard that he had silenced the Sadducees, they came together, and one of them, an expert in the law, asked a question to test him. Teacher, which command in the law is the greatest? He said to him, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the greatest and most important command. The second is like it, love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and the prophets depend on these 2 commands. Jesus just made a huge statement that just laid out what we are supposed to be as Christians. The first thing he says, well, first of all, the Pharisees are coming to him, testing him after he's told the Sadducees, if you go back a few verses, he talks to them about the resurrection and really just kind of shuts them down. And then the Pharisees come back and they're going to try to trick him, what's the most important command? Of course, they already think that they know, but Jesus obviously shakes it when he says this. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the greatest, most important commandment. So when Jesus says that loving God is the most important commandment, we should take that very seriously. That is the number one thing we should be doing as Christians, is loving God with our soul, mind, and heart. That's I think what he means there is, that's everything that you have. You're loving God with everything you've got. That's what we're called to. Jesus calls it the most important command. So that's number 1. Number 2, he says the second is like it, love your neighbor as yourself. We've heard that so many times that we're supposed to, love people and, be accepting, but how hard is it really to do that? It's really hard. For me, it's very hard to love that person that pulls straight out in front of me when I'm booking it down the highway and he just decides to, you know what I mean? It makes me so mad, and in that moment I really don't want to love that person. I want to tell them what they are, but when as a Christian trying to follow Christ and in loving God, we should also love others, even the people that it's hard to love. We could go as far to say a rapist. Who wants to love a rapist? You just say well, he's sick in the head, he's messed up. We were all messed up before Christ. You know what I mean? We have to love the sinner and hate the sin. That's the bottom line, So Jesus sets up 2 kind of foundations for us. Love God with everything you've got, and love others as you love yourself. I mean, I'm sure everybody, cares about themselves. Obviously, you want to take care of yourself, you want to care for yourself. Why then should we not want to care and love on others just as we care for ourselves? I think that's what Jesus is saying here also. So, as a Christian trying to follow Christ, we have to love God and we have to love others. At 15th Avenue, that's our vision, is to love God, love others. It's part of our mission statement. And I encourage you to make that a part of your lifelong mission statement, to love God and to love others. It's hard. It's not hard to love God. I mean, goodness, the grace and the mercy of God alone should draw you to Him, to, push you to love Him. I love God with everything I've got just because of what He's done in my life. You can go back and look over your life and see, you can notice where God was and how He was working, changing you, giving you experience. It's amazing. So I encourage y'all to go back and look at your life. And honestly, when you come out, you're probably going to love God more than you did before you looked back. Anyway, so we're called to love God with everything we've got, but we're also called to love others as we love ourselves. So, to kind of close up, if you don't, love God with everything you've got, you're not going to love others. like the way that Jesus loves us, We should love as Jesus first loved us, just like we should forgive as Jesus first forgave us. It all goes hand in hand, but it all stems from the love of God. If you don't love God, you're not going to want to love others. So I encourage you to, reevaluate yourself spiritually. We're called to evaluate ourselves, see where you are, see if you've been growing. If you haven't been growing, what needs to change? And if you have any questions or comments, or you're just worried about something, you want us to pray for you, we would love to pray for you. So just comment below or send us an email. I'll put our email in the description. And if you missed Wayne's quick thought yesterday, it was on marriage. So all you married people, and really people who aren't married, could definitely benefit from it. The link is down below. So thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share this video. Let's go out, love God, and love others.